Greetings from Bulgaria. Welcome, my friends, to the next video overviewing the SWTOR patch 4.0 class changes. This time we're taking a deeper look to the Operative and Scoundrel disciplines changes and iterations. I have Kukla, my Scoundrel, who's level 60, but since I haven't been playing real endgame lately with her, don't pay attention to the stats that you might see here and there. All of the numbers, the damage abilities, the stats and the gear are irrelevant, so don't compare them to yours. Don't aim to achieve those, they are absolutely out of order. First, we begin with a few general class changes and combat mechanics. BioWare is changing the utilities. Now we will be getting utility points at the following levels to prevent excessive power inflation with each expansion and to assure a choice was present at level 65 because the new endgame level or top level or cap level will be 65. So tier 1 will be granted at levels 17, 25 and 33. Quick comparison, randomly selecting, in my case, my main spec, the healer, we have 11, 19, and 27. The next, with 4.0, tier 1 will be 17, 25, 33. Tier 2 will be giving 2 utility points, 41 level and 49 level. Currently, we have 35 and 43. And the last 2 points to combine to accumulate to up to 7 points because the top available utility points will remain 7, at least for now. We will be getting them at level 57 and at 65. Starting at level 10, we will get new discipline-specific active ability every 16 level. This is a major global change that BioWare is implementing with every class for 4.0. So active abilities are those surrounded with the green border. Currently we have them at level 10, 26, 41, and 57. So the only change actually will be that the ability from level 41 will be granted to us at level 42. The ability at level 57 will be granted to us at level 58, just so we can have 16 levels gap between each new active ability. Something similar goes with the passives. We will be getting them at every 4 levels beginning at 12. And the only change compared to Shadow of Revenant 3.0 will be the ability at level 59. Instead of 59, we'll be getting this at level 60. And there's going to be a new passive at level 64. This is the global part. Now we're switching to the specific changes for the Operative and Scoundrel. As I've mentioned, I will be showing you the Scoundrel discipline and abilities, but I will be reading all of them from the developer blog, so you can compare. If you don't know which ability is which, you will hear the other version. Let's see. New ability. It will be called Hollow Traverse or Trick Move. Supercharge your stealth generator, quickly moving you to a friendly or enemy target and increasing your movement speed by 75% for 3 seconds. It doesn't break stealth, cannot be used against enemy targets in cover, and has a 45-second cooldown. It's also off the global cooldown. Very powerful ability, very nice and interesting gap closer or gap creator, depending on whether you are attacking or escaping. The specific changes for medicine sawbones, again, pay attention, this ability will be granted at level 61. It's not specific to any of the specs, so all of the operatives and all of the scoundrels will be getting this ability. The specific changes to the medicine and sawbones. Sawbones is the healing tree. The new passive skill, Enduring Colto or Prolonged Prescription. Please excuse me for eventually reading some of these wrong. You know that I'm never too good with reading names. So this new ability, Enduring Colto or Prolonged Prescription, will increase the duration of Colto Probe Slow Release Med Pack by 3 seconds. This grants us an extra activation of a healing before it needs to be refreshed or it falls off. And it makes Steam Boost or Pugnacity grant the 15-second long buff that causes your next call to infusion or pack or call to injection or Underworld Medicine to activate instantly. It gets consumed when you use call to infusion or pack or call to injection or Underworld Medicine. Because many of these abilities may sound strange to you, I would like to just quickly mouse over the main healing abilities so you'll know which ones we're talking about. Slow Release Med Pack is the dot. Koto Pack is the channeling ability. Underworld Medicine is an activation ability. And Emergency Med Pack is an instant one. Obviously, Call to Wave is the newest AoE heal that BioWare added to our class at level 57. It will be moved to 58, but we already learned about that. And I will repeat it once more in a few minutes. Surgical Probe or Emergency Med Pack is going to be trained at level 42 up from 41. I mentioned a moment ago that Emergency Med Pack, and same goes with Call to Waves, they will be moved one level up to keep the 16 levels gap between each active ability. The last change is that Tactical Medicine or Bedside Manner is now trained at level 60 instead of 59. That's it. Beside Bedside Manner is usually connected, this ability at level 59 for all classes is usually connected with the previous active ability learned at 57. This is the overview for the healing changes. It does sound nice to me. Nothing too special. The changes are very, very similar, not to say absolutely the same as the changes to the Warrior and Knight. So moving on. Next we have the Concealment for the Imperials and Scrapper for the Republics. The new passive skills is called Prey on the Weak or Pierce and Batter. Laceration or Sucker Punch will deal 5% more damage to targets affected by your Acid Blade or Flechette round. You get this new passive earlier than usual at level 48, because BioWare wants the leveling experience to be better for Concealment and Scrapper. Additionally, they're granting Volatile Substance or Blood Boiler earlier and replacing Sheath or Blaster Whip with Veiled Strike, Bludgeon later, as they need to move two passive skills that buff Veiled Strike, Bludgeon to the end of the discipline path for these changes to all make sense together. We will go over all of these abilities slowly now. Let's see. Veiled Strike or Bludgeon is now trained at level 58 instead of 41. We are quickly moving on to display those. Bludgeon is moving from 41 all the way up to 59. So basically what BioWare is doing is replacing this active ability with this active ability. They're just switching their places. But remember, the new levels will be 42 and 58. And because Pressure Cooker or Enhanced Chemicals for the Empire is connected to this ability, it will also be moved down here, which means that Pressure Cooker will be trained at level 44, down from 59. Usually, first we learn the active ability, and then we learn the passive ability that boosts that active ability. The next change is Surgical Strikes or Scrappy. It's moved from level 44 to level 64. The last change is Calculated Frenzy or Rolling Punches, which will be trained at level 60 up from 48. So BioWare is not implementing totally new abilities here. They're just shuffling a little bit inside the discipline tree. The same passives and actives are being moved back and forth because BioWare believes that these things will improve leveling performance and leveling experience for the Scrapper or Concealment. The last discipline for the class is Lethality or Ruffian. The new passive skill is called Acidic Compounds or Sharpened Materials. Corrosive Grenade, Sharp Bomb gets a 10% chance to explode twice. And Toxic Blast, Sanguinary, I'll try that again. Sanguinary shot deals 5% more damage. From my very weak perspective, very weak experience, very scarce experience, I should say, this is a weird buff to an already weak skill, as it was already commented on better, more pro players on Reddit, because I was reading the thread. The next change, Toxic Blast or Sanguinary shot is now trained at level 42, up from 41. The same change as before. The active ability from 41 goes up to level 42. Exactly the same happens with the next. Little strike or point blank shot is now trained at level 58 instead of 57, and the passive ability goes from 59 to 60. So cut down or cheap shots is moving one level up. Here comes the fun part. We have, just like with the changes for the warrior and knight, one new utility for each one of the tiers. Let's check them out. For tier 1, the skillful utility, the new name will be curbing shots, overload shot or quick shot, and carbine burst or blaster volley slow the target they damage by 40% for 60 seconds. The tier 2 masterful new utility is called Fortified Koto Supplemented Medpack. Each stack of your Koto probe slow release medpack increases your damage reduction by 3%, stacking up to 6%. This damage reduction is not conveyed to the target of your Koto probe or slow release medpack. So what BioWare means to say is that when you hot yourself, you will be giving yourself a little bit extra defense, but the same hot on other targets will not give them defense bonuses. For the tier 3 heroic, we have a new utility called Circumvention or Sleight of Foot. It allows Holo Traverse or Trick Move to be used while immobilized, and it removes immobilizing and slowing effects when used. These are the changes. I'm eagerly awaiting your opinion as a pro Scoundrel or a pro Operative, whether it's healer or DPS. I could venture a conversation or a dialogue about the healing part, but yes, I've admitted it a million times already throughout the years that Scrapper and Ruffian are not exactly my favorite specs, so I almost never played them, mainly while leveling. I would really like to hear your opinions as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was useful to you. If you prefer the written form, the link to the dev guide or dev post will be here somewhere in the video or down below in the description for sure. Check it out. If you don't have annotations available, you will probably have to go down to the description. Bye bye. See you with the next video, which will be Sniper Gunslinger changes. Remember, you can find me also on Twitch, Twitter and Facebook. For my non-Star Wars activities, I invite you to subscribe to my second YouTube channel.